at the picker and here to share with you what I'm working on today. Okay, so we are at the picker and I am going to start. So I am blending all of these fibers up and the machine's gonna go on, so it may get a little bit louder, but I'm blending these all up. And what I'm doing, because this is a fine wool, meaning that it is softer, it has a smaller micron count, which equals softer. Basically, it equals softer in layman's terms. And I want it to, and when it is a fine wool, it's more sensitive, I should say, in some sense, it will break easier. So it's a nice strong wool. I've already tested that, but because it's a fine wool, it's not as strong as some less than soft wool. So we're gonna start this up and I'll kind of let you see what I'm doing. So you can see that as I go along, I am opening up the fibers a bit. Now that's what the picker's job is, but I am doing it also because this wool, I want it to go through the picker without getting damaged. And so the easiest way for me to do that is to just help it along. So I'm gonna I like to get out, so there's like spots where if it pulls a big chunk, it's not gonna pull everything. So I'm kind of just pulling in chunks, opening it up a little bit, pulling it out. As I'm doing this, I'm also pulling any more second cuts I see, or anything like that. So I'm just gonna load up one more little batch so you can see, and then we'll go ahead and I'll take you to the other side and you can see what's happening. So any of the all the fibers that I do in these videos, they all do go up for sale for hand spinners, basically. I don't do past carding, so after this will go to the carder, and then it's ready to be hand spun. But all of it gets sold. I'm not just doing this for me. That would be a lot of fiber. So if you are interested in getting some, the easiest ways are to join my Patreon community where they get early bird notices, or head to my website and join the newsletter because they are second in line on getting updates as they're coming out. So let me take you into the picker here. So you can see the fibers going on the belt. There's 2 rollers that are taking it through. And then there's a series of teeth in there that are opening the fiber up more. And then we come out here, which is where the fiber gets spit out and dumped out into this little collection bin that I have here. So you can see when it comes out like this. This has all been picked already. So the fibers are pretty opened up. They're all blended up. And now this is all ready to go to the carder, except that I will condition it first. So I'll condition it and then I will go ahead and head to the carder, which will probably be a video for another day. It's very humid today, so I want to get all the picking done that I possibly can. Okay, head to my website if you would like to get on my newsletter list and spin some of these lovely fibers. All right, you all, I apologize. I do not have my microphone on me, but I thought I would throw in a little bit more of this Romney silk with me carding it. If you watched last week's episode, you saw a quick clip of it as I was just opening up the vlog. And this week I'm just finishing it up in between other things. So this is, like I mentioned, it's a Romney silk. It's dyed in the wool, meaning that it's in lock formation, and you can see the locks are still there. Some of the locks are still there even after picking, and that's a little bit, so we're gonna get rid of that. Those are second cuts or little shortcuts in there that we don't need. They will drop out with Romney, Shetland, Jacob, a lot of those breeds. A lot of VM drops out along the way. That isn't to say that you should send stuff to the mill with a lot of VM in it, but a lot of it, when I'm processing stuff that I know well, I know how much VM's gonna drop out of it. So I'm just lining it up here on the carder. I always kind of do a set amount between each feed, depending on the type of fiber and what I've got added to it, that sort of thing. And that way also it means that the roving that comes out on the other end is nice and even, which is lovely for hand spinners because it's not a battle of thick and thin and all of those things. You can just kind of spin away, especially if you're spinning long draw. So I am going to turn the carder on. Okay, carder going on, and and we'll watch it go through, and we'll go out the other end and see. So I dyed this Romney in different colors of greens and blues, and then even mixed the dyes up a bit for some of it too. So it comes out to this. This is what it comes out to, just different. And you can see some of the silk in there. I like this silk because it just adds a little extra softness and a little extra shine. Although Romney, generally speaking, has a pretty good shine. So you can see it going through. We'll come this way. And there's just a whole lot of rollers in there. A whole lot of rollers. One day I'll take that off and let you see. And here comes our roving on the other end. And I don't have the light on, but you're getting a pretty good view of what it looks like. There you go. So it's coming out. I'm gonna go spin a little bit for you because it's pretty darn, that's a fun view to watch it just coil in there. It's pretty darn gorgeous. So I'm gonna spin a little bit of it. You can see it kind of coming off in a web into the roving deck there. So let's go spin some, shall we? Okay, so here we are. I've got a little bundle. I'm sitting at this is an Ashford Elizabeth II. I have it set up in double drive. So the nice thing about this wheel is you can do either. So I'm just gonna connect and then run with it. And this fiber basically spins itself. It is so fun to spin. I wasn't going to talk too much so you could just hear the click of the wheel. I just have a very, very light touch. Not much is needed because the fiber is so loose and so even. So it's a wonderful fiber for long draw. If you're not a hand spinner and this is giving you all the good feelings, don't forget that I do have online courses for learning to hand spin on a wheel as a beginner. Literally from the beginning, understanding your wheel and fiber. And then I also have a mini course that is learning to spin long draw, which is what I'm doing here. You would want to learn to spin first before you take my long draw class. Whoop, almost lost it. It's so silky, I almost lost it. Join back up. So I'll stop here in a minute. It's very hard for me to stop with this fiber. I was spinning it the other day too, and it was very hard for me to stop. But I'm going to stop because I have other things in theory I should do with this day, and it's getting warm. So again, this is Romney Silk. Get on my newsletter. If you are interested in getting fibers from me, you can also join my Patreon community where they get early bird, so they get first notice on fresh fibers as they're coming off the carter, and they often get little videos, and we have social meetup and just all sorts of different community-oriented things in there. So head to the show notes if you're interested in the Ewethful Patreon community, or head to my website, and there should be a pop-up or a spot at the top of the page where you can join the website, or sorry, join the newsletter. See, I'm dazing out spinning now. Okay, let me show you what this fiber looks like. Just gonna spin this up, and I like to spin up and then I leave the top of it up so I know which end I want to spin from when I get back to it. And let me take you off the tripod and we'll zoom down here. Sorry about the fingers. And hopefully you can see there's a lot of light in here. There it is. It's so pretty, and I'm blocking the light, but it's going to have a nice sheen to it from that silk and from the Romney. Get a little better idea of the sheen there. Okay, everybody, have a great week.